moment that, after a long journey, you are finally approaching Macbeth's castle in the Highlands of Scotland. You are with friends, and you have been travelling on horseback for a whole day. You are tired, but you are full of happiness because just yesterday a great battle was won. As you crest the top of the incline in front of you, the castle gradually appears from its top slowly down to its base. First, up high, you see its crenellations with a sentry looking down at you. Clouds move behind him and silhouette his head and shoulders. Then you notice the thin slit windows where archers might fire their arrows. But this afternoon you are here as a friend, you think. You see the heavy wooden door patterned with iron studs. You think about the night ahead of you and the celebration you will have with your friends. You notice that the air is warm. It is early summer. The air smells sweet. You are Duncan, King of Scotland, a king who has recently won safety for his country from Norwegian raiders. Next to you is Banquo, a trusted friend and aide. When you comment on the sweetness of the air and how good it feels, he stops for a moment and notices that there are little brown dots randomly stuck onto the walls of the castle, but mostly clustered around the place where the stained glass window, just as they are behind and above me here, suggests a chapel must be. These small brown dots are the size of footballs, and they seem to be stuck underneath ledges and under the eaves. In any place where there is an overhanging feature on the building, these little brown dots are sticking. You realize that they are birds' nests made by the martin, or martlet as they were known in Shakespeare's time. A tiny little bird, actually a range of different very similar species of birds which spend almost all of their life on the wing. They almost never land, and so their legs have evolved a way to a point where they are almost invisible as they blend into the perfectly smooth, feathered down of their bellies. The small birds have migrated all the way from southern Africa. They traveled there when winter came, escaping the snow and ice of the northern hemisphere so that they could remain warm and well-fed in the insect-rich areas below the Sahara. Now, they have come back to stick their nests to the very same piece of castle where their parents built their nests. They have been back and forth to the riverbanks, sipping up mud in their mouths before mixing it with spit and sticking it to the walls, day by day, until they have made a little nest of dried mud that is glued solidly to the stonework and is protected perfectly from predators on the ground. You comment to Banquo beside you. At this point, you can all follow on the cards in front of you the lines from Macbeth, and I'll paraphrase the lines for you. You're Duncan, remember? This castle has a beautiful setting. The air is fresh and light, and it is welcoming to all my senses. Banquo replies to you, King, these summertime visitors, these little martlets, who often linger and hover around the chapel, show that they agree with your observations about the sweetness of the air by choosing to build their beloved nests here, and here, and here. They tell us that the air is as pure as that of heaven. Look, there is no ledge, no windowsill, not even a feature on the castle wall where they have not made their procreative nests. Wherever I see them flying and nesting, I always notice the air is sweet. Just before the lawn ceremony last Friday, I noticed little swallows circling and singing in the sky above Cushing Hall. Like all migratory creatures, they miraculously return to the exact places, be it buildings, rivers, territories, where they first grew up. Look up in the sky over the next week or so, particularly in the evenings and around buildings and tall trees, and you will see more and more of these little birds. Lots of different martlet-like species of swallows and swifts. A whole range of little birds that, in this country, have been not to Africa for the winter, winter, but to Central and Southern America to escape the snow and ice. While we were witnessing the migration of departing seniors circling the lawn last week and preparing to leave campus for their new lives, above us the tiny birds were circling, reflecting our annual traditions of coming and going, of ending and beginning, of flying away and landing home. They remind us of the cyclical nature of the year, the passage of time, the oppositional seasons, and the eternal cycle of our human life that changes and replaces everything. It is no coincidence that the martlet is meant to come to the chapel to rest. Over time, the ever-flying, tireless bird has taken on significance as a symbol of hard work and devotion. But the bird also affirms that, just as Banquo tells us, the air is sweet and fresh where the chapel is. Indeed, it is the place where we might breathe the breath of heaven. We are here today to mark Memorial Day, to remember those who, in the middle of their cycle, or often tragically near to the start of it, had their flight cut short. Men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice, that of their life, while serving our country in the United States Armed Forces. As we mark this National Day of Remembrance, honoring all those Americans who gave their lives, we are also fortunate enough to be here to show our respect for those members of our school community who died in service. As we all embark upon our next migration, our next cycle, and think about all the opportunities for happiness and success that lie ahead of us in our lives, we stop today to gather here in silence and in thoughtfulness to solemnly remember those who could not throw all. As we pause, we might take this moment to be thankful for the chance to begin a new cycle, to make a new migration, to embark upon a new 4th, 5th or 6th form, to see our families, to be happy, to build new nests, and ultimately to have the opportunity and the privilege to return. We will now move to the annual reading of the names of the members of our community who died serving in our armed forces. As we listen to the names, they will fill the air for a moment. As we read their names on the paper, they fill our eyes and they fill our minds. By remembering them every year, we memorialize and commemorate them. We bring them back here to the chapel for a short while as honored guests of summer, so that we might never forget them and their sacrifice.
Charles James Freeborn, class of 1896. Philip Overton Mills, class of 1899.
Griswold Gideon Peabody, class of 1900.
Scoville Thomas Duggan, class of 1907.
James Pearson Goodspeed, class of 1908.
Daniel Waters Cassard, class of 1912.
Robert Smith Gillette, class of 1912.
Louis Ruth Ewing, class of 1913. Daniel J. Montague, class of 1913. Alexander Blair Goff, class of 1916. John Foster Stafford, class of 1917.
Lieutenant John Stark Coleman, class of 1928.
Josiah Oliver Walcott Jr., class of 1930.
Lieutenant Lawrence E. Tracy, class of 1931. William G. Yepsen, class of 1931. Captain Earl Warner, distinguished first class of 1932.
Henry S. Washburn, class of 1932.
Frank G. Bristol, class of 1934. Private First Class Donald A. Dunham, class of 1934. John
class of 1939.
Lieutenant G. Andre Whelan, class of 1939.
Lieutenant Julian B. Clark, Jr., class of 1940. Private Charles W. Goodall, class of 1940.
Mrs. David M. Hoffman, class of 1940.
Grover Gilbert, class of 1941.
Peter R. C. Mars, class of 1941.
Captain George E. King, class of 1942.
Lieutenant Edgar A. Knapp Jr., class of 1942.
Lawrence Stevenson, class of 1942. Peter D. Manfrey, class of 1942. Private First Class Henry C. Chapman, class of 1943.
Stephen T. Carey, class of 1964. Stephen C. Sanger, class of 1965.
Nicholas J. White, class of 2002.
We will close our service today by singing verses 1, 2, and 3 of the hymn on page 579.